Hi, welcome. It's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. Got new product to review for you, and it's the new TaylorMade M6 Driver. So loads of hype with TaylorMade as ever. When they launch new product, everybody knows about it. They shout it from the rooftops, and obviously some very different technology going into it, which is a little bit different from what we're seeing from other manufacturers. So we're going to go through that technology today in this video, a little bit about other technology that's in the driver, and also back it up with some numbers off GC2, HMT, and obviously, as always, my personal thoughts on the looks and the feel and the way it performs. Okay, so we've got injected twist face technology. So many of you will probably already know what's happening with TaylorMade drivers with these two screws that we see in the face and this injection. So basically, just to sum this up quickly, is every driver that TaylorMade are making as it comes off the production line is exceeding the COR limit. So basically, every driver that comes off the production line is illegal. They then measure it and see how illegal it is, and then they insert resin into the heel and toe ports just behind the club face, the certain amount to get that face back to bang on that legal limit. And that's the way they do it. So basically every driver that is produced is what they will call a spicy driver or a hot driver in terms of the ball speed across that club face. It is interesting. It is very, very different to what we've seen before. Love it or hate it. You know, let's see if it actually sort of works. First instincts for me, look-wise, it's stunning. I think, again, TaylorMade, I've always been a fan of TaylorMade products in terms of how they look, but this matte carbon black finish on the top, I think, is just beautiful in terms of, you know, against maybe the M4, which was a polished version. The silver little strip at the top is now a little bit narrow, which, again, I like. I like the fact it's still there, but I like that blend between that and that matte black finish. So sits lovely. This is a 9 degree, got it set at 9 degree. I've got it in hazardous black, 6.5, so low spin, shaft option, which tends to suit me. Let's get this first one hit. Okay, and that's a lovely sound to it. Very positive crack to that. Nice looking ball flight. So there is quite a bit of other technology in here. The carbon is increased on the top of the club head here. So we've got 54% more carbon than the M4, which is 54% is a lot. So obviously they're saving a lot of weight there and obviously redistributing that in other places in the club head to make it more forgiving. Okay, so quite a nice opening tee shot there, and that's spun around that sort of 2,500 mark. So other technology that we're seeing in the M6, obviously twist face is staying. Obviously that's introduced last year. That was their real big talking point. How the face sort of twisting that toe section, that heel section, to try and reduce that sort of gear effect. So that's staying in there. Obviously we've got the ejected twist face. We've got hammerhead technology in the section bottom, you know, just behind the club face here, which is hammerhead 2.0. So a slightly increased hammerhead section, again for trying to keep ball speed up for those slight miss hits and possibly a little bit low in the face miss hits. Okay, it does look great behind the ball. Sits lovely, as you'd expect. Let's get the next one hit. Yeah, great. It's powerful flight. That looks pretty long. That looks pretty low spin as well. There we go. So, 319. So good number there, and spun at 1800. So good low spin characteristics there, which I like. And that we know when I get into those sort of 1800s, 2000 marks, I pick up that maybe that extra 15 yards and that total distance. Okay, that felt great. A little bit heel side on that. I'd be interested to see what that does to the numbers. I'll tell you what, that's still a good hit for a slight heel strike. 308. Be interested to see what the spin must be a little bit low there. So 2299, so just under 2,300 spin with a heel strike. That's good, because as soon as I felt that heel strike, I expect that ball to sort of spin up and peel off to that right-hand side. It hasn't done that, so you could have an argument there that twist face with that heel section pulled down pointing more left, hasn't actually added that gear effect, and with less loft there, has actually helped control that spin number. Interesting one really, because I would have definitely put money on that was going to spin up a little bit and move off to the right with a gear effect. So there's no adjustability in the M6 in terms of weights in the bottom. Obviously the M5 takes care of the adjustable weight sections. I've done a review of that. I'll put a little link and you can go and check that video out. But in the M6 it's a little bit more geared around forgiveness. So what they've got here is this middle section at the back. You can see it's like a little lip down in a way, which is basically storing more weight. There's a little screw in that back section there. So what they've saved, or they've added more, 54% more carbon to the crown, so they made a big saving of weight, and they've made a saving of 46 grams, which is huge. Sometimes you hear savings of sort of 8 to 10 grams maybe, but 46 is absolutely massive. So they're placing that extra weight in this back section, so it's low and back on that weight positioning, which we know increases the MOI and that forgiveness of the club. And that probably that last hit there being a little bit heeled definitely showed that. Quite impressed with that ball flight there, considering it wasn't the greatest of strikes. Okay, that's a tiny bit low in the face. That must spin up. You see it's just peeled off to the right there. I've just squeezed that. There's my drop off, so 278, and that spun 3,100. Yeah, that's that low in the face strike that I tend to struggle with, and I've just absolutely squeezed that off the club face. I've lost that a little bit, well, quite a bit to the right there. Okay, so let's try and improve on that last one. That was a pretty awful shot from me, obviously more me than the actual club. Let's try and put a better swing on this one. Okay, that was better. Decent contact. Again, just pushed it a little bit up that right hand side, to be honest. That felt pretty good. Strike was good. You can see 308. Just getting that direction a little bit up that right hand side. And that spun at 2,100. So again, good spin number there. But we know strike, that previous one, low in the face, just throws that spin way up in the air. But that was quite a severe low in the face strike. So you can have as much technology as you want, but if you strike it as low as that, it's always going to pack it with that spin. Okay, let's look at some numbers on those 5 shots with the M6 Driver. So clubhead speed around that 115 mark, which is typically my sort of speed. Ball speed just under that 163. So it's a decent ball speed there. I've had faster. The first one was a good one at 165.7, but then the others were 163, 162, 162. So, you know, it's not up there, or it's not as fast as anything else on the market. It's as good as, in a way. Launching at 11.6 and spin at 2.378 on average. Bear in mind that 4th shot I hit was a real low one. That spun it up at 3.1, so that's brought my averages up a little bit. So probably taking that out, I'll probably drop around 2.1 mark, which is a good number. So for a club that weight put very low and back, it's producing a really good sort of spin number there. Peak height 32 yards, descending at 37 degrees, which is good numbers, and averaging carry 279, running out 304. And again, that 277 just pulling that average down there. Right guys, so there we go. There's M6 Driver from TaylorMade. Loads of technology as you'd expect. What I didn't mention there is obviously we've still got the original adjustable sleeve, neck sleeve there, so it's got all that dialing in to do with that loft angles there. We've got a 9-degree head, there's a 10.5 and there's a 12-degree head in the M6, which you can obviously dial in up and down by about 2 degrees, I think it is. So obviously that will affect face angle and everything like that, which I might do a separate video of just what it does when you change that settings. I think there's a lot of golfers out there get confused when they're changing it lower. They think it decreases the loft, it does the opposite, but then there's a sacrifice of face angle. So I'll probably do a separate video on there just to help you guys to understand which setting alters the face by whatever degrees and loft by whatever degrees. So yeah, loads of technology. Obviously the big talking points, this injected speed, twist face. Again, the numbers, the ball speed's good, you can't deny that. The ball speeds are good. Is it as good as anything else on the market? No, it's not, is it? It's as good as anything out there now. And there's a lot of great drivers coming out for me, 2019. The choice and the quality is great. Yes, we're seeing these prices creep up. There's a couple of brands maybe just holding the price there. But I'll tell you what, for you guys going out to try drivers, you've got a fantastic choice. It can be confusing, so you may need to go to a place that's maybe got a lot of options. We have here at Lytham Golf Academy, we're lucky that way, so we've got it all under one roof. You can test it all together, see what works for you, and then take it from there. Obviously, get fitted for it is always my story for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Do comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on injected twist face. I know these comments are going to come rolling in with ejected twist face comments, but as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts as a consumer, as a golfer. And maybe your thoughts on M6 product against maybe the M5 also. Might be a separate video there for me to do for you guys. If you haven't subscribed and you're considering doing so, just hit that button, get that like button smashed, share the video around, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.